decent body of work in the sevens game. Joe Mora and his team will want to give Argentina a little bit of a scare, but they're very much the underdogs here. And Gareth Reese, delighted to be joined by Tom Mitchell. And Tom, this is one of those games, the 9th place semifinal, you don't really want to be in it, but once you get there, you got to do the job.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly for Argentina, they're not used to playing down here. They're not used to playing in this stage of the tournament. They're normally, this season anyway, been fighting out for the top spot. And this gutsy Canadian side, loads of learnings and some really impressive stuff.
Yeah, young players getting their first taste. What a place to get it. They did match up these two teams in Vancouver in the pool stages, and Canada should have stolen a famous win, but couldn't quite hold on. In the end, Argentina hung on and ended up winning that event. That one goes forward out of the hand.
Yeah, it has been a tough ride. It's been some impressive stuff for this Canadian side, but unfortunately they have been put to the sword a little bit throughout this comp, and they will certainly be feeling a little bit bruised and battered by that. Certainly the pride takes a hit when you're conceding 30 points and upwards, but it's a journey.
Alex Russell, proud, one of the senior vets in this team now. Did his studies at McGill University, the Maple Leaf. Still flying high here on Saturday night.
Sit.
Of course, we mentioned this Argentina team arrived with Marcos Moneta. He's not taking any further part. He's been flown home with an ankle injury. We hope he gets treated and sorted out, as they have big things. The grand final in Madrid and the Olympic Games. We'll see if he can be made active, and that sums up how greasy the ball is here. Uncharacteristic spill there from Latorre.
Yeah, Latorre not had loads of game time, so a bit of rust there. It was a good set piece there from Argentina, playing so flat, just like they do in their attacking phase play.
And for Canada, their battle to stay top 8 is over. They will be involved in Madrid in the playoff with the 4 teams coming up from the Challenger, but also the Olympic repechage still on their calendar. Great event that's going to be in June in Monaco, but a tough one. The likes of South Africa, Great Britain also there. Nice set piece move. They've created a little bit of an overlap. DiNardo got his first try in front of the South Stand last night, in front of his parents who'd flown in from Toronto. Those are the moments that they can cherish. The results maybe not so much this weekend. Latorre getting his chance. Looked to roll over with the right arm, but the ball popped out.
Yeah, I think he got chopped down just too short. Might have been better off holding onto it, recycling. But he got hungry. He saw the try line. He can see it right there. He thought one reach and I'd get it. Or maybe he was trying to present. I don't know. It's a good bit of work from Alex Russell actually on the scramble.
Yeah, he likes it. Elias Hancock did well. And the Pumas, I think when she showed up here, maybe wasn't imagining her team would be playing in the 9th place semi-final, but that's sevens rugby for you.
It is, but I'm sure their previous successes, they must have built a huge fan base around the world, not just back home in Argentina, but they've been so strong this year, really marked themselves out as the best in the season. They've just not gone their own way, and we're obviously missing Marcos Moneta, so strong for them normally. They're not going to make life easy for Canada here, those they're trying to play out from underneath their own, the shadow of their own poles.
Tough pass, and it is Iskro, the very best in the world, jumping on that, but we're going to come back for the initial knock-on.
We've seen him with a bit of a trend. It's so tough to play out here. So often in sevens, we do see the end-to-end stuff, don't we? Teams scoring tries from just in front of their own try line, but in these conditions where it's been hot, humid, and a little bit greasy, we're not seeing many of those long-range tries because it's so easy to make a mistake out there.
Yeah, the 4th game for both these teams, so some fatigue. Revol getting the start. This is Wade. Gaston Revol, vastly experienced, the most experienced sevens player in the world. Wade goes for the line. He's hit hard. Again, good defense from Phil Berner, the skipper, but they run out of bodies. And it will be Matteo Graziano for a big try.
And they're still giving the Argentinian fans something to dance about. Good work in the end. Matteo Graziano going over pretty much untouched. Little scoot. Nearly gets here on the initial hit up through Wade, and the recycle, go again. And there's nobody home for Graziano. Kind of slow bludgeoning stuff from Argentina, not the flair that we've become accustomed to for them.
Yeah, they're not the biggest team out here, but so precise, so powerful. Breaking tackles all over the place. Hanging kick, it was a problem for Canada. And again, they haven't secured possession off it. There's a flat ball. Isco working the other sideline this time. Keeps his feet. It's knocked on by Red twice.
It's a good bit of D on that edge. Elias Hancock doing a good job of marshalling his touchline. But it did result in a knock-on from Canada, so Argentina going to have a go on this. I mean, Rodrigo Isco is a horrible man to have to bring down, so Hancock's done a great job there.
Elias Hancock, the 25-year-old from Ottawa, Canada, the nation's capital, where Scotland will be playing some test match rugby this summer. We're looking forward to that.
Great shot there, the big distance between first receiver and the centre. It really isolates that Canadian centre. He's going to have a tough time 1v1.
And you got to own your skill set if you line up like that. Also gives them space to run into. Again, decent tackling from Canada midfield. Advantage is going to come to them as it wasn't released. I don't know how you can call a knock on the ball. Didn't go in that direction, but it will be Canada put in.
Yeah.
I thought he might have pinged him for holding on. Jojo Morit did a really good job getting over the ball, getting low. Here it is. There he is on the ball, and the ball goes backwards there off the... Oh, who knows what's going on. Maybe it came off Revolt. It's come off Revolt. It's ping-ponged around a little bit, and I think as it's hit a Canadian player, so as Gaston Revolt's knocked it forward, it's hit a Canadian player, therefore knock on.
And then it's bounced up and cut Revolt in the eye, and that's why he's getting some treatment. Does that work?
I hope he comes back on, because desperate for him to score a couple more points.
So tell us the story. No one can figure out what's going on here. He's an amazing guy. As we said, played more tournaments than anyone. He's sitting on 999, and he doesn't want to go past it.
And there's been some easy conversions he could have taken on. I think he's got a deal with Santiago Gomez-Cora, the coach, that once he hits that 1,000 mark, he's going to retire.
Retire. He wants to hang on to the Olympics, where they must be one of the favorites, it must be said. You know, Argentina, a great Olympic nation. Donardo's had enough, and he bangs it high and long, and takes a decent bounce for Canada, at least pushing Argentina away from the try line. Wade up on his toes. Great commitment by all the Argentinians to get back behind the ball. Graziano. Now the chip and chase, partially blocked. On a second bit of footwork. Oh, and the shoulder charge. A little bit of football's broken out there. Where's Lionel Messi when you need him?
If in doubt, kick it out.
Well, there's been a few Lionel Messis in the crowd, but not out there right now. The Argentinians on the field are up 7-0 over Canada. Well, that gives us a chance to go
in the evening here in the Hong Kong Stadium. Gaston Revolt is back with a little bit of a head accessory. He's been strapped up. We've seen him like that a few times. He's such a warrior for this Argentinian team.
Players in front of the kicker there. There's Alfonso Latorre guilty. And Canada's taking the scrum midfield. So as we said, all learning experiences, but to be fair to them, Canada's still very much in the match.
This should be a hell of a result for Canada. If they can get a score here, really in amongst it, square things up.
Sit.
Argentina are a bruised beast. This is a great opportunity on halfway.
Well, there's their alignment. One in the boot, it's Donardo. Short ball, two men doubling around. One hand on the ball from Ethan Turner. And it's been knocked on, so shame. Frustration for the Canadians. Nice to see young Ethan Turner out there, 23-year-old.
Yeah, the first
currently
one
playing with Burnaby Lake in Vancouver.
And he went blind, but yeah, I agree. I've got my eyes on him.
Argentina's chance to have a scrum now. Ethan Turner going to do some defensive duties. One inexperienced player lining up beside a very experienced player in Gaston Rivera. That's a nice combo.
Ball's knocked back. Revol's on the run. He hits Wade. A 2-foot jump stop, which is devastating. It's beaten pretty much every defense in the world. Sliding through the tackle. Alfonso Latorre, just a breakdown, and he took full advantage.
It's only his second score all time. And Alfonso Latorre, from minute one in this game, he has been abrasive, hasn't he? He's looked to carry, he's looked to take it to the Canadian defence, and on this occasion, he took it to them and he broke through. Shrugs off the tackle, big old legs pumping, high knee drive all the way to the line.
Well, as you said, such a talented team, series leaders, doesn't get a lot of opportunities to play and start, and he's taking his chance here, really showing Coach Santiago that he can get it done.
And they'll be grateful for a little bit of breathing space. When things aren't going your way, it's hard to settle in, isn't it? So you want a bit of a gap on the scoreboard in games like this.
Get some subs on the field. Alex Russell will depart. Last minute instructions for Ethan Hager.
You said Argentina are on the biggest side, but they are physical now, powerful. And across the board, you've got the likes of Fraca, Gonzalez, Iskro. You've got Schultz, Graciano. Like, these are guys that are actually a real nuisance when they're carrying in and around the contact area.
When you think about it, you don't even have a Sadzuk here or Manetta, that quality of player.
Good. Thank you. Time on.
Revol gets us underway. Hager spikes it back, but again, it's Argentina.
Advantage over.
Well, a little bit more of a taste for it. Iskro, did he get a block there? No. Finding the space, moving the ball.
Touch.
Augustin Fraga.
Options.
It's gone into touch, so Canada will have the option.
Options, Canada.
Loose carry from August Fraga there. But good attention
Time off.
from Cal Sager and a couple of his mates in the hit.
Wait.
See him line up. We see he's got the toe. He's got the physicality as well. And he actually rides through, but then just loses it. It's a bit soapy. It has been all weekend. He's frustrated. The young man now got high standards. He starts to get more game time and assert himself.
Bind. Sit.
Solid platform for Canada to work from. Donato's in the boot, and he ships it wide. Good width now. What do they find when they come back? Well, this Argentina team that's been dominating the series, 20-point lead at the top, prides themselves in this blitzing defense, and it's just been a little bit quieter this weekend. Joe Morris sat down, and he hasn't released.
Holding.
Big collision. Jojo Mora going at speed. It was Rodrigo Iskro's shoulder was all that he ran into.
Iskro's going to stick it in the corner.
Yes.
Tries to accelerate into it, but actually wasn't quite the collision we thought it was initially. Rodrigo Iskro, it's a pretty wide man to try and go around.
Sub. Yeah. 1 and 2.
Verafeld sneaking in on the turnover.
Few subs coming on for Canada. Phil Berna back on, and Jack
Come
McCarthy
down,
from
boys.
St. John's, Newfoundland. If I was to say to you how hard it is to put the Canadian team together, Jack McCarthy lives closer to you in London than he does to 90% of his teammates who live in the rest of Canada. That's in Hong Kong. The pressure continues. Mate.
Tackler roll.
Tackler didn't get out of the way in time.
I think Argentina wanted to play advantage, keep going. That 3 men out here on the near side, and the last one of the 3 was Luciano Gonzalez, who probably would have scored.
Yeah, definitely a discussion to be had, and maybe a work on is what actually constitutes advantage or off a penalty. I know a lot of the coaches said give us the penalties, but I think things have changed in the 7th game. And there's moments like that where rather than allow Canada to set up in defense again, play on.
It's really tricky because it's so contextual, but this is why you see so many teams going for scrums off penalties, because actually the team's not set, so you've just got to try and tie in some defenders once it's slowed down. Unless it's going to be a quick tap, there's no real advantage.
Looks right, but moves left, and look who's on the move. Luciano Gonzalez, just the embodiment of power and pace. Canada counter-ruck. They kick and chase, stay on the park. No, it just comes off, but good little sample of the pride these young boys have.
100%, they're scrapping. I mean, they're 14 points down to the series leaders. And Ethan Turner, I would have liked to have seen that stayed in. He hacked it forward. If that bobbled in, we could have been in for a really good foot race down the other end.
Minute and a half here to play in the 2nd half. This is the 9th place semifinal. Top versus bottom on the series, and there's a steal. Nice work from Cal Sagert. And they do finally get it out wide. Yeah, good positive play from the young Canadian side. Sean White, the head coach, will be happy, although the technique there. Again, an interesting interpretation from Nick Hogan.
I think he got caught. Jack McCarthy carried in really nicely with real good power. Picked and went again, wasn't held, and actually ended up being tackled again underneath the feet of the Jacklers. So here it is, he's sort of not held on that one, goes again, but that roll there sort of rolled him into the Jacklers.
We gotta go on. Thank you. Time on.
Argentina. Set piece executed. All sorts of options, and it's dropped into space. Wow, that's textbook stuff. That's how you draw it up on the board in the training room. Flirting with the sideline, but too much power, too much pace. Luciano Gonzalez in the corner for Argentina.
Well, Luciano Gonzalez gets in on the act this evening, late into the day, on day 2 in the Hong Kong Stadium, but they've not been themselves, but this was a nice bit of work. Zachuk on the dummy line. Mare holds it up really nicely for the runaround. Pellandini just putting Gonzalez away on the edge. And good luck stopping it from there.
Gonzalez, one of the world stars here. Well, the final match is about to end here. In the end, it's Argentina putting up 21. Canada not able to answer here in the 9th place semifinal. Handshakes all around and some tired bodies. Their 4th game of 2.